Now, it's been said that the reason we're having high rate of insecurity in the land is also attributed to the scarce resources that many seem to be fighting around. But what are we as a people doing to ensure that the environment is in safe hands and ensure that we have enough for this generation and the next to come? Well, while you ponder on that, I want to quickly welcome you to another lovely time on television. It's like Atlantic TV, is Viewpoint, and as always, my name is Mike Egobadia.
And I am Mercy Irabo. Welcome to Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. You know how we do it right here on Viewpoint. We'll start with the dailies, we'll go straight into the dialogue, and the news comes around, and of course, trending. And you do not want to miss today's episode of Trending because we have loads of interesting and juicy gist for you. Of course, you know you can engage with us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, at Atlantic Media and TV. Well, we need to go on this quick break. Once we return, the dailies will be next.
When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited, your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace.
Always a tradition for us on Viewpoint to always start with the papers. Hence, we're going straight to the papers to give you an update on what seems to be happening in the country. Well, anyway, here we go. On review today, we have 7 papers. We have the Nigerian Tribune, This Day, The Nation, Daily Trust, The Vanguard, The Punch, and the guide there will be guiding us through the papers. But talking about starting first, let's see if we start with the first paper, and The Punch it is. And let's see whether The Punch has a major, as it always has on its front page. Always the puncher. Well, anyway, on the Punch this morning, the leading story reads, ex-generals fume as federal government orders probe. And we're still talking about the drama that played out day before yesterday, Wike and the naval officer clash. And the riders to follow, says FCT Minister Yerima Faisov sparks concern over civilian-military relationship. But I'll tell you to relate to that very story on page 2 and 3 of the Punch newspaper. Let's see if we take some other stories at still on the front page of the Punch this morning. My critics now praise me, says Obasanjo. Well, anyway, you can see him all smiles and laughing on page 17. Reds probe 20 trillion abandoned federal properties is a major screamer on page 12. National Assembly approves Tinubu 1.15 trillion domestic loan. It's a screamer also on page 22. And let's see what seems to be on page 7. Bamidele Carlo differ on alleged plot to impeach Akpabio. But anyway, I'll just tell you to read more of that story on page 7. Let's see if we take some other major stories still on the front page of the Punch this morning. PDP insists on Ibadan convention amid court orders. A screamer on page 2. Mohbad's family demands the fresh probe bars wife for using surname. Are we still there? Well, anyway, page 4 and 5 seems to have more of that story. OPEC report shows Nigeria underproducing crude again. And many will say, what will be the reason for it? But anyway, reason it up on page 21. But what's the picture of the day, and also a major screamer on the front page of the Punch? And yeah, you can just go read that very story on page 17. Is be fair, truthful in government criticism. Tinubu tells editor. You do know the 21st editors conference was held yesterday, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was indeed the special guest of honor. Well, anyway, you can see him getting an award. All smiles. Well, anyway, I hope they report fairly about him in the next dailies. But anyway, that's the much you can take from the Punch newspaper.
Let's check out for stories making it to the headlines of the Guardian newspaper. On the Guardian this morning, the lead story, Nigerian Exchange Group insists on free press as Tinubu urges fairness, pledges recovery. That's a major one on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Let's take a look at some more leading stories still at the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Nigerian president since 1999 breach constitution, REC alleges. More of the story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Nigeria records 566,300 leaked accounts amid 90.6 million global breaches. That's a major story on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. House probes 12 trillion naira usage by DFIs, 20 trillion naira abandoned project. Very interesting story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Let's take a look at some more leading stories still at the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Yeah, still on the Guardian. IHS holding chairman Sam Darwish credits Nigeria for strong third quarter of 2025 earnings. That's a major one on page 19 of the Guardian newspaper. Let's take a look at some more leading stories still on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Yeah, at the sidemas of the Guardian this morning, Kanu praised appeal courts to stop terrorism charge ruling. We're still on this story. Well, you can read more of it on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. A minister, senior advocates of Nigeria differ on Wike's confrontation with military. Yeah, we saw all of that story. We even trended with it yesterday on Trending. So you can read more of that on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper. A federal government outlaws mother tongue policy, reinstates English as language of instruction. Well, that's a major story on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper. A presidency denies Trump effect on the Nigerian Exchange Group sell-offs as a Christian Association of Nigeria seeks end to genocide. That's a major story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Obagbena challenges global context dominance via Lekki. That's a major story on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper. Yeah, let's take a look at the picture of the day. Yeah, still talking about the 21st Nigerian Editors Conference 2025 that held yesterday at the Conference Center in the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Yesterday, you can see the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu being presented with an appreciation plaque by the presidents of the Nigerian Guild Editors, AZ and NABA. All of that took place yesterday in Abuja. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on the Guardian newspaper.
Well, anyway, these days, the next paper for us to quickly look at as we also go through the dailies this morning. And on this day newspaper, the leading story reads, Tinubu to editors, criticize government policies, but don't compromise national unity. Well, there's a major screamer there, and we have a whole lot of writers. I'll just implore you to continue reading all of that story on page 9. But let's see if we take some other major stories still on the front page of This Day. This Day, Arise Group to launch Leke in January to shape future of social media. Well, anyway, I'm just laughing because I doubt if Messi will understand what we used to call Leke in the past. But anyway, don't surprise, I'll tell you all of that later. But anyway, checkmating US and China dominance in Africa and around the world. Well, I'll tell you to read more of that story up on page 9 of This Day newspaper. Let's see if we take some other leading one. IHS Holding, Limited Chairman Sam Darwish credits Nigeria for strong third quarter earnings. And it's a major screamer also on page 9. PDP NCOC, our national convention will go on as scheduled on Saturday. Well, anyway, a whole lot of drama seems to be playing out in the main opposition party, but I'll tell you not to oppose yourself. Read more of that story on page 9. Let's see, do we have any other major one? Well, no, just the picture of the day. And you do know it's the 21st All-Nigerian Editors Conference, and you can see President Bola Ahmed Tinubu with a whole lot of dignitaries yesterday as that played out. Well, anyway, that's the much we can take from these days.
Now let's check out for stories making it to the headlines of The Nation newspaper. On The Nation this morning, the lead story, conflicting court orders on convention, PDP factions clash. We have lots of riders to that. Damagone's and Yawu's faction give conflicting directives. Judgments today on Lamido suits. Ibadan court extends go-ahead order. That's a major one on page 2 of The Nation newspaper. Let's take a look at some more leading stories still on the front page of The Nation. A controversy widens over Wike military officers clash on land. It's still a major one on all the dailies. Well, you can read more of that on page 3 of The Nation newspaper. The stocks rally 2.6 trillion naira on capital gains tax review plan. How policy should be implemented by experts. A major one on page 3 of The Nation newspaper. Okpewolo has performed Say Yiwada or Shomole. Oh, interesting story on page 5 of The Nation newspaper. Tinubu to editors, champion national unity, reports boldly. Interesting one on page 2 of The Nation newspaper. Makinde has made Ibadan livable, says Obasanjo. That's a major story on page 5 of The Nation newspaper. A president sends executive bill to create Cocoa Board. That's an interesting story on page 7 of The Nation newspaper. Let's take a look at some more leading stories still on the front page of The Nation newspaper. Yeah, at the bottom marks, Kanu asks appeal court to squash the dismissal of his no case submission. Well, that's a major story on page 3 of The Nation newspaper. Let's take a look at the picture of the day. Yeah, the picture of the day, we can see Obasanjo, we can see the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, and Deputy Governor Adebayo Lawal during the inauguration of the Ibadan Central Bus Terminal, Iwo Road in Ibadan. All of this took place yesterday. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on The Nation newspaper.
Well, anyway, I hope you trust in us to give you more than you need to get when it concerns the dailies. Hence, we are going to Daily Trust next. It's a major one on our paper review. And major screamer right there on Daily Trust. Despite Tinubu pledge, federal government takes fresh 1.15 trillion naira loan. Do Nigeria still trust him when he says we're not taking any more loan? But anyway, not me to ask. But I'll just tell you to read up on that story on page 4. Okay, criticize us fairly. Tinubu tells media. It's also a major screamer on page 7. And yes, World Cup Eagles battle Gabon in crucial playoff today. Our prayers are already starting for Nigeria to qualify. Government drops mother tongue policy. That means no need of Messi carrying the children back to Edo to learn Isan.
I will.
Just keep them here. Let's teach them my Shakiri. But anyway, you can read about that story on page 7 of the Daily Trust newspaper. But let's see if we take some other leading stories still on the front page of the Daily Trust. IHS Holdings Limited Chairman Sam Darwish credits Nigeria for stronger third quarter and 2025 earnings is a major one right there. Promotional, you say. I lost to 120 million goods, cash to fire. And this is according to a trader in that Inferno that golfed a major market in Kano State. Had goes to all those persons that have lost their goods in one way or the other. But anyway, that's the much we can take from the Daily Trust.
Let's see what the Nigerian Tribune has for us this morning. On the Nigerian Tribune this morning, the lead story, Damagun-led National Working Committee affirms Saturday's convention, blames APC for PDP crisis, alleges plot for one-party state. Convention will go as scheduled on Saturday. This is coming from the committee. Court extends interim order, and that's a major one on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's take a look at some more leading stories still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Nigerian stocks rebound as blue chip rally lifts markets by 2.59 trillion naira. That's a major story on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. Okpewolo hails Edo rebirth, reels out transformational achievements across key sectors. That's an interesting story on page 21 of the Nigerian Tribune. Tinubu approves construction of Itawure Aramoko Ado Ekiti Aramoko Ijero Ifaki roads. That's a major one on page 20 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's take a look at some more leading stories still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Media seek tax reliefs, low interest loans. Tinubu pleads for journalism practiced with sense of national duty. That's still talking about the editors conference. Is a major one on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. Makinde making Ibadan livable, Obasanjo says at inauguration of mega bus terminal. Governor says circular roads will become Oyo State's economic backbone. Well, you can read more of that on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's take a look at some more leading ones still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Senators clash over delineation of words in Worry by INEC. A major screamer on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. I am tired of moving motions without results. Benue lawmaker laments rising herders killings. A very disturbing and sad story on page 21 of the Nigerian Tribune. And what we have as the picture of the day, yeah, still talking about the 21st Editors Conference that played out yesterday in Abuja. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on the Nigerian Tribune.
Well, the Vanguard will be the last paper for us to quickly look at as we extract what seems to be on the front pages of the dailies. And on the Vanguard this morning, the leading story reads, Tinubu backs an NGE's proposal for media tax relief and VAT exemption. Right after that says irresponsible reporting undermines democratic stability, asks editors to criticize but not damage Nigeria. There won't be electoral integrity without democracy. These are credited to Imo State Governor Uzodinma as NGE seeks tax relief, low interest loans to rescue distressed media sector. But anyway, we'll put our voice to that. But I'll just tell you to read more of that story on page 5. Let's see if we take some other major ones still on the front page of the Vanguard this morning. Inadequate gas throws geometric power into first blackout in 60 days. Is a major screamer on page 19. PDP court extends order permitting national convention to Friday. And you can get more of that story up on page 49. Presidency clarifies Trump threat not behind Nigerian Governors Forum's sell-off. Is a major one on page 8. Weekend, no officer or soldier on lawful duty will be punished. And well, it looks as if disappointment for those that are seeking for punishment for the Erin Yerima. But the defense minister is giving us all of that on page 8. Let's see if we take some other major stories. We're still on the front page of the Vanguard. 2026 FIFA World Cup playoffs. Super Eagles under pressure, undeterred. You can get more of that on page 6 and 7. And the UN names Nigeria, Mali among 16 hunger crisis hotspots. Now I know why my neighbor, they are always going out in the morning. But anyway, right-of-way crisis. Telcom's operating costs are to 5.8 trillion naira according to the NCC on page 19. Anniversary of Pueblo hails Edo Rebel to reserve achievement. Those achievements will send Messi soon to Edo State to help us check. But you can get more of your checking on page 12. Babona announces Leke platform to challenge global content dominance. It's a dominating story on page 48. But the picture of the day is they are smiling now. But will they be smiling when there's a damage report? Well, Tinubu shakes the hand of the Nigeria Guild of Editors. And I will just hope the smiles continues. But anyway, that's the picture of the day. But anyway, that's the much we can take from all the dailies. 7 is what we had, and we'll tell you to always do yourself a favor of going and reading up all these stories as they seem to interest you. And you'll be giving yourself more information as it concerns what seems to be happening in the country. Well, let's see if we just extract some few that seems to be on the front burner of the papers this morning. And one that seems to be trending is the issue of the NGE 21st Convention that took place yesterday in Abuja. You do know that Nigerian Guild of Editors is always in an annual event that seems to extra on how far the media has come. And you do know we on Atlantic TV are always appreciative when we have such media parley between the government and indeed critical stakeholders as it concerns the media. And the Nigerian Guild of Editors are begging that government should relax on the tax. And well, anyway, it could not be tax on salaries, but maybe tax on every other thing. Yeah. And not only that, the government has come to say, oh, please report to criticize us small, but don't damage our reputation. Now, how do you marry that? Because it's a question, is the government going to give us relief on tax reforms and in every way bribe? Okay, sorry, let me rephrase my question. Okay. And tell us to suspend
in exchange.
So let's try to understand that.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but the truth is, when it comes to reporting, I feel they should let the press do their duties without interference or anything. If they want to report, if you want them to report something good about you, then do something good, because they would report exactly what they see. You said they should be truthful, and you're still saying they should be fair. So how can they be truthful and also be fair? Yes, because most times the truth they say is bitter. So you want them to be truthful and you want them to be fair. The same way I said yesterday on trending, that once you're doing your job, especially the law enforcement agencies, I will always come here and give you thumbs up. But once you're doing things that you're not supposed to do, when we see police brutality and all of that going on, you don't expect me to come here and I want to be fair and I still want to say the truth. The truth is always bitter, and you might have to offend certain people. So I feel they should just understand this fact that in as much as you want to be truthful, you might not be fair.
Well, anyway, I feel President Tinubu is talking directly to you. But anyway, let's continue and see if we get some other major ones. Still on the front page of the dailies this morning. Another major trending one is the issue of the PDP convention. Well, that party has been enmeshed in a whole lot of issues, drama that have been playing out, but it looks as if the convention will finally go, especially with the court order giving them up to Friday to ensure that their convention is being held. But the question still do remain, is the PDP indeed ready to be a leading voice as it concerns the general election coming 2027?
Okay, when you read that very story on the dailies, I heard you saying major opposition. Are they still the major opposition? That's what I want to get. You're having internal crisis that you need to deal with. And if you don't deal with it, I don't even see them being major opposition during the forthcoming elections, because you have all of this crisis. Imagine this convention has been on, this convention issue, the drama and all of this has been on for long, and you're still calling them the major opposition. I don't know if they are still, but let's see if the convention holds this time around. Let's pray and hope that it holds, because this is going to be like a major setback for the 2027 elections for the PDP. Yeah.
Well, anyway, it looks as if Mercy Arabo has challenged the PDP. And guys, are you ready for a convention and indeed making yourself the leading voice as it concerns opposition parties in Nigeria? Well, anyway, they used to pride themselves as being the largest party in Africa. But
not
please,
anymore.
What will you do to ensure that you're the largest leading opposition party as it concerns Nigerian politics? But anyway, that's our concern, and a concern that many Nigerians will wish that will be resolved. Mercy, any other major screamer you want us to talk about, especially as it concerns the headlines on the dailies?
Okay, so I think this Okpewolo's issue coming out to say, I think, was it who was praising him in one of the paper, hailing him as bringing transformational changes to Edo State and all of that. I don't know, but I'm yet to see all of these changes.
Well, that's why we said we'll be sending you there soon.
Please, I don't want to go. That road is so bad. Well, I don't want to go. The road is so bad, because just imagine some of these roads and you see things like, please bear with the Edo State government, this is a federal road, and you want me to go there? No, I can't. Just of recent, I think yesterday, and it will trend later today on Trending, we saw the Delta State government trying to do the Efurun Saple road and all of that. That is also a federal road, but he's doing something because it's his state, he has to do something. But the Okpewolo's government is saying it's a federal road, so it's a federal road. How do you want your citizens, how do you want these people to be able to ply these roads? And you say you've brought transformational change to Edo State. I really want to see it, because maybe because I am out of Edo State, I am not seeing this. Maybe I have to go.
Well, anyways, as much as it's transforming Edo State, please, the transformation should come down here so we can truly understand what you mean by transformation. But anyway, we are not changing or transforming to something different, but rather we are going on a break. And you do know that after the People's Dialogue will take center stage And after dialogue, the news will come around the hour. But like she said, trend along with us when it comes to trending. Let's go on a break.
When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited, your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace.
The future of the worried child is bold, bright, and limitless. Gone are those days where being from worry means that you are underestimated or being put in a box. Today, the worried child is breaking boundaries in education, innovation, and all things that they set their minds to. We are gathered right here live at the Brown Hill Coliseum in Warri, Delta State for the future of the worried child, a one-day seminar put together for secondary school students in Warri, Delta State, and its aim is to reshape and of course to remind these children that their dreams are valid and they can be anything that they want to be. We will be reshaping destinies and of course putting in the minds of these children that yes, greatness lies within them. The theme for this year is a very powerful one: beyond limits, unlocking the potential of the worried child. Now, this is not just another seminar, this is a movement, one that brings to the knowledge that every child has greatness inside of them. My name is NK and I'll be holding it down right here on the red carpet for Atlantic Media and TV, where we'll be having our special guests and of course we'll be having conversations with our speakers, distinguished guests, and of course our students who are here and ready to learn, to get inspired, and of course to go home with so much enlightenment. Join me on the red carpet as I interview great men and women who will be coming here today to experience this great history in the making.
The future of the worried child is in your mouth. And as long as they can't steal your voice, they cannot steal your future. God bless you all. God bless Ogiame Atuashe III. God bless the children of this great land. God bless Nigeria.
Child can do anything possible because we believe first God made them, and if God made them, God actually made them without limit. So we are trying to sell that dream back to them, no matter what they've been taught, no matter what they've been told, that the worried child is going beyond limit.
To unlock children's potential, it starts with you as the parent.
What we are here to do is to also put them in the direction of, as you are working, also get yourself checked.
Going beyond the limits, beyond unlocking your potential, knowing your place, owning your story, finding the obstacles, identifying them, leaning into the lessons that life throws at you. So generally speaking, it's all about honing yourself and looking around you to solve problems. When you are a problem solver, you will always have value.
I'm a product of worry, so today I am that future standing here, and for that reason I have no doubt the people that will come after us will do greater things.
I feel so amazed by everything that has been going on today. I am truly touched and I'm truly enlightened today.
I feel very nervous coming here, but meeting new people and seeing that, oh, like there are lots of opportunities. Thank you most for the opportunity that have given to us, the future of the worried child.
Future of the worried child is me. Thanks to the Care Foundation.
Behind closed doors, too many suffer in silence. Too many lives are scarred by violence in the very place that should bring peace, the home. Domestic violence is not love, it is pain. It breaks trust, destroys lives and families, and steals futures. Domestic violence is not a private matter, it's a violation of dignity, and it must end. Because hitting a woman does not make you a man, but correcting her in love and staying in peace with her is God's plan. Together, we can raise our voices, protect the vulnerable, and rebuild lives. Say no to silence. Say no to fear. Say no to domestic violence. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV. Behind closed doors, too many suffer in silence. Too many lives are scarred by violence in the very place that should bring peace, the home. Domestic violence is not love, it is pain. It breaks trust, destroys lives and families, and steals futures. Domestic violence is not a private matter, it's a violation of dignity, and it must end. Because hitting a woman does not make you a man, but correcting her in love and staying in peace with her is God's plan. Together, we can raise our voices, protect the vulnerable, and rebuild lives. Say no to silence. Say no to fear. Say no to domestic violence. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
There's a growing correlation between insecurity and also the issue of resources as it concerns Nigeria. Many will say the growing insecurity and also the issue of farmers and herders clashes is all centered on human negative impact on the environment, and hence we are seeing a really fight to the finish as it concerns issues of resources. But the question still remains, how best can Nigeria in every way seem to protect the environment, and not only that, but seem to also do more as it concerns resources, not just for this generation, but the future ones to come? What needs to be done to ensure that the environment is in good condition and in every way stop the degradation of not just only the natural land resources, but also impacting positively as it concerns the global environment structure? With no regional roadmap as it concerns what West Africa intends to do on that ground, but should Nigeria not take the lead as it concerns development when it concerns the environment? What are those negative things that we seem to be doing that we need to stop as a people and help to redirect and change the narrative? Well, all of that is what seems to be having us have a reason to talk about this on the show today. And we're talking about human negative impact on the environment and how that seems to be brewing or indeed breeding conflict in Africa. That's what we're having as a major one. That's what we're having as a major discourse today on the show. We're talking about human negative impact on the environment and how that seems to be brewing more conflict around the Sahel region, and especially Nigeria. And that, like I said, that's what we're having as a major discourse today, because there's every tendency that many, especially the United Nations, seem to be indeed attributing the recent increase in violence and insecurity in Nigeria to the issue of fighting for scarce resources between farmers and herders. But what are we doing negatively that seems to be impacting and driving that scarce resources as it concerns the environment is what we're having. And to truly help us look at this, we have no other person but a member from the Nigerian Society of Environment. And we're talking of no other person but Mr. Felix Unumadu. Mr. Felix, welcome to the show, and nice having you as a major resource person as it concerns this very topic.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, anyway, like I said in my introduction, there's this correlation between the growing insecurity in Nigeria to the issue of global and environmental change. And according to the United Nations recent report, they feel the reason we're having an uptick in violence, especially as it concerns the Northeast and North Central, is because of scarce natural resources that seems to be dwindling by the day due to human impact on the environment and the resultant global warming that seems to be driving a whole lot of natural resources as it concerns green vegetation. So my first question is, do you feel there's every correlation between the scarce resources and the recent uptick in violence, especially as it concerns Nigeria and the Sahel region?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. But before I answer the question, I first of all want to appreciate Atlantic TV for always making the platform an advocacy platform for environment to as well enhance and influence positive environmental behaviors among the citizenry. Then having said that, let me go straight to your question. When we want to talk about conflict, conflict is not in isolation with the environment, because even the conflict itself takes place in an environment. And when we talk about environment, we have two types of environment. We have the physical one that we talk about. We also have the social one. The social one is when you talk about technological environment, you talk about religious environment, and so other factors. You understand? So when you look at what is happening in Nigeria, you don't need a soothsayer to say that the deterioration of the environment has actually led to so many things. Both, if it's even a contributor to that scarce resources, it's also a contributor to violence and the clashes you are seeing within the space. Okay, so let me first of all talk about human behavior towards the environment. When we want to talk about human behavior, we're talking about our actions, our either collective or privately, that influences the environment. Now, those are our actions. We took it because we wanted to achieve a particular aim or a goal. Then, having said that, when we also want to break down the behavior, you break it into two. You look at the positive and the negative part. Then when you also bring it down, the subhead, you also now have the private fair behavior and the public fair behavior. Now the private fair is, what are my attitude? What am I doing? What are my actions that influences the environment, either negative or positive? When we want to talk about the public fair, we will now ask, what are the public doing collectively, maybe as a government or as a group of people? What are our actions that influences the environment, either negative or positive? So you now see that everything we are seeing, even the crisis itself, it centers on our own, what we intend to gain or what we intend to achieve at the end that triggers all these things. So they are all factors that influences the environment.
Okay, now, yes, you've just made mention of that. Now, I want us to leave not, or rather, I want us not to just talk about the conflict that
Yes.
seems to be brewing in the northeast and north central on account of scarce resources, and how we're having influx of headers
Yes,
from other, coming down south that seems to have even a more better green vegetation to help nourish their cows. But let's leave that and look at a more general term. Yes, we used to talk about green revolution in the first military era of Obasanjo, when we had the former military head of state, General Obasanjo, in charge. We're talking about the late 70s. All of that seems to have faded away. We also came with the issue of 80s when we talked about planting more trees. All of that now seems to have faded away. Now we are being now faced with the issue of headers and farmers clashes.
Yes, yes.
Now, do you see or do you feel that policies of government have directly or indirectly affected why we are now where we are? Will you say some of their actions or inaction have greatly contributed to an uptick of all of these that is happening?
Okay.
As it concerns the environment.
Yes, thank you very much. Like you said, as it concerns the environment, you cannot exonerate the government because the government are the part of the citizenry.
Yeah.
So you cannot exonerate them.
Okay.
You know, when we want to look at the headers and the farmers' crisis,
Yes.
actually, what actually causes it is that you have overgrazing in the north. You understand? They over the years, because it's the kind of culture that they are part of life.
Nomadic, yeah.
You know, they are part of life. Apart from that, you know, the nomadic came when they felt that, okay, we don't have much green vegetation to give our cows, so we have to move. So that nomadic came as a form of movement from one place to another, looking for greener pasture for the cows, not for human. Now, like I said, what actually led to that was that there was overgrazing. Over the years, you've seen that those vegetations, those green areas in the north have been fed to the cow for so many times. So at the end of the day, you don't have anyone. In fact, you now have desertifications.
Yeah.
You now have desert and all that instead of having those things. So because of that, they now said they needed vegetations for their cows, so they started moving down
south
to look for where they have those green, those
that's the reason
vegetations.
we're having more of this.
And that's the reason we have, and that is why that nomadic was coined to them.
Okay.
But originally it was not that they were that nomadic. It was as also because of the effect on environment that made them nomadic. So we can see that the effect of our activities on environment, it cannot be overemphasized of the impact it will have. It will have both on our social, both on our culture, and even it can even change our pattern of belief. The environment influences your belief. You understand? Now, like I have established, you've seen that because they don't have more vegetation, they have become nomadic in nature. And it's also the same way that you see that the environment also causes people to migrate from one place to the another. So when you look at it, like I said, back to your question, like I said that last time, I said the major problem we have in Nigeria is that government does not have that systematic approach. They have individualism approach. That means they are individualistic in nature. Their approach is robust around one person, just like the references you made in your introduction. You see when General Obasanjo came, he has his own green revolution. And because he is the head of state, people tend to follow. You understand? Then when he left the position, because it was not systematically in place, somebody else now came with another idea. You understand? So that is how it is until we as the Nigerian government intend to factor environmental stewardship and environmental protection into the day-to-day activities systematically. It will only depend on individuals' contributions and individuals' patriotism to the environment to maintain environmental sanity.
Okay, now let's still try to make sense of all of this. Yes. Now, another major one that many Nigerians are also screaming that they feel the government is not picking or taking so much attention and heed to is the issue of poor regional planning. Just like we've talked about the issue of overgrazing. Yes. If the government had taken effect of these maybe 3 decades ago, we will not be having the little crisis or the major crisis we're having now as it concerns migration of these herders that have now turned into bandits on account of not having enough grazing ground for their cows and are now coming down south and causing all these troubles. Now, let's look at another major one that persons feel the government is not also taking heed of. It's 2 major ones. Now, the first major one is the issue of regional planning. They feel the present, both in all 3 tiers of government, both at the local, state, and federal, is not paying heed to this. And because of that, like we stated, just 2 weeks ago, we had a report that 114 Nigerians were killed within the period of 1 month on account of flooding. Yes. Now, let's look at that also. Look at the risk assessment. Are we going to see an uptick of more persons die on account of poor regional planning in the country?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Talking about poor regional planning, like I would say, Nigeria, they have so much policies and regulations. The basic challenge
and regulatory bodies.
Yeah, and they have regulatory bodies. Yeah. But the basic challenge they have is enforcement. Okay. One, those in the government or those in power, they lack the political will to enforce it. Then, 2, again, I also see it, like I always mention, to me is ignorant. Because
ignorance on the part of the government.
Ignorance on the part of the drivers of, not the government. Government is a body, but the drivers of government, most of them, they are ignorant. For instance, let me give, for instance, if you make me a minister of power, for example, I don't know much about power, except the inclinations I got from environment. On that, we say I need a green and renewable energy and all that. I don't know the integrities.
Which will not form your mindset and policy around.
Yes, I don't know the integrities of power. So, for example, if I become the minister of power, or in fact, that one is even closer. Let me use the minister of health. I don't know anything about, I'm not a medical doctor. You now appoint me as a minister of health. What do you expect from me? I'm going to use my environmental knowledge to judge health issues. So in that, you see that at some point, I'll be putting a square peg in a round hole. I will not do the actual thing. That's why I said ignorant. If those that driver, for example, the Minister of Environment, Commissioner of Environment, down to even the environmental supervisor in local government, if they are inclined with the environment, you see that they will channel their policies in that manner. But because they were not inclined, and most of the time, they felt they have economic objective. So, and those economic objectives, they don't know that they're actually supposed to factor in environmental factors and environmental protection as it went into it. So they intend to follow, just like a trader, all you want to do is to buy and sell. You don't do risk assessment that you said, what impact, what is the end of my product? What impact does it have on the environment? If I will ask myself, this clothes I'm wearing now, at the life cycle of this clothes, when they have the lifespan, where should I discard it? How do I manage it? Those are the questions I'm supposed to ask myself. But because these people, like I told you, the drivers most time, they are not actually inclined in that sense, in that aspect. So they intend to push what effect they needed immediate feasibility, like they wanted to see what citizens will do. No matter what, when you look at the development, like the urban and regional planning you said, when you look at the development are supposed to have a systematic plan in place. In fact, what Nigeria lacks most is data. Okay. When you are projecting, when you are doing projection, when you estimate that this year, for example, Nigeria is 2 million, next year, they are likely to give birth to about 100 children. Then let's assume, okay, we are likely also to have we are likely to have about 50 deaths. You understand? When you project it, you now see that there is addition of 50 to it, because they gave birth to 100 children, but you just have 50 deaths. The addition to 50. Now, those 50, where did they stay? If, for example, I have mapped out this area, and the other land are not attended to, I will ask myself, these 50 people, would they be confined in this same space?
Within that closed space.
You understand? Within the closed space. how am I going to manage the other step of the land? Nigeria have so many dormant acres of land. Like I said, Nigeria have, if you might even refer to some of them as waste, because I told you last time I appeared that any resources that is not utilized, that is not in use is waste at that particular time, because it's not in use. Yeah. You might use it in future, but at that time it's actually waste. So if Nigeria, they have this plan and strictly follow the plan, like I told you in my last appearance, I said, you are supposed to say this area, this is the type of building, because of the topography of the place. You are supposed to build downstairs, no upstairs. Then you are supposed to maintain some parameters from the waterways, the estuaries and other bodies. You are supposed to maintain biodiversity. You are supposed to have environmental aspects. These are what that are supposed to be in place. But we don't have that plan. All we know is clear this area, build for development. And that is why, because of the population, that is why you have these shanties, like I told you. Because people intend to move down to urban cities. And when the city is congested, they try to attach themselves and they build shanties. You understand? So urban and regional planning is supposed to have the data and projection of development, stride, and how they intend to cope in future. That's what they're supposed to do. That is what sustainability is all about. You make use of the resources for the benefit, and also ensure that the future generation, they have access to the same resources to solve their own problem. So to me, when it comes to urban and regional planning, Nigeria is lacking in enforcement, not in policies and in law, but they are lacking in enforcement.
Okay. Well, anyway, well said. Now, we've talked about two major and critical issues that seem to be pressing hard on us. We've talked about the issue of herders and farmer class on account of scarce resources when it comes to grazing of the cattle, and farmers also planting to sustain themselves and their family. And we've talked about the issue of flooding that is on account of regional planning. Now, let's leave those two major policies and come to health of Nigerians, especially as it concerns how we use our environment. Now, we are almost within the period of rains going into the dry season. We call it Harmattan season. And on one major illness that seems to plague Nigerians around this time is the issue of cough and catarrh due to dust and haze that seems to be hovering around in the environment. Now, let's look at that. Let's come back to deal with the issue of the environment. Now, why are we having an uptick and increase the issue of catarrh and cough within this period? Why is that always so prevalent around this time?
Like you said, you know, the season itself has its own trigger as it comes to allergic reactions in our body. Now, when you have, like the rainy season, those wet season, you are likely going to experience cold. And those could also trigger this cough and catarrh. Yes. So what actually happened is that the reason is that when your body system is overwhelmed, you know, in your body there is what we call homeostasis that stabilizes the temperature within your system, no matter the external forces. You understand? But when it's like calling for help. When those homeostasis have done their job and they felt they needed help, that is when you see those allergic, like coughing and other reactions to ensure that, okay, we need help or try and help the external body so that it will not be affected. But having said that, that is for the wet season that we are living. Now, the question you are asking, why are we having an increase now? There are so many reasons. Like I always tell you, climate change is a contributing factor because the climate is not stable as it were. It is changing. So, like you are now having more of greenhouse gases. Now, when you have greenhouse gases, those greenhouse gases, they intend to shade the ozone. You understand? So, it now makes the earth warmer. And when the earth is warmer, it has these things on your own body system, because your body system intends to adjust to kind of forming resilience to what is prevailing at that time. But before they are able to do that, they have some maneuvering, like your body system maintain. And also, when you also look at it, especially when it comes to data state, you see that everywhere you go now, there is construction going on in data state.
Okay.
Now, what does it do? When construction is going on, you have this dust, like you mentioned, and you have these fumes. These fumes, they enter through your body through inhalation, like when you inhale them, you breathe them in.
Yeah.
So when you breathe them in, they trigger all these things, like the catarrh, and then the cough and every other thing you are saying. You understand? And so the reason why it's increasing now is because, one, like I said, the climate change, and second, the issue of the constructions going on when you see this dust coming up. And the reason why that is even happening, because like I mentioned, there were no actually EISA, that is environmental and social impact assessment.
Okay.
We articulated.
That we call risk assessment.
And risk we articulated. If not, these things, like I always tell you, they are avoidable. What am I saying?
I was almost going to ask, how would you avoid that when we are neck deep into construction?
Yes. So,
for example, you go to the PTI road.
Yes.
As you are coming from the DSC to the PTI.
Yes.
That's where we have a lot of what you are talking about, especially when the day is dry and not hazy. So yeah, we see a lot of that, especially. So what would they have done differently to help either reduce or totally navigate us away from all of that construction and the end of dust and all that seems to transpire with us?
Okay, right. Thank you very much. This is what that's where I'm trying to make this point now.
Yeah.
When you talk about environmental impact assessment or environmental and social impact assessment, it is a systematic analysis of an anticipated project. You understand? Then you have not started the project. You want to start up the project, but you make analysis and you project a potential impact, whether negative or positive. When it is negative, then you think about mitigative measure. You understand? Now, for example, if I know that if I'm doing construction and at this period when it's not raining, those dust and fumes that are going to be prevalent, I will say, okay, let me sprinkle water. Maybe first thing in the morning, when I see that it's going down, I also repeat the same thing. Then I also restrict people's movement. Normally, we are not supposed to be going through construction sites. There are supposed to have been alternative route. You understand? If these alternative routes that are provided, then you will be sure that the inhalation of this dust, they are eliminated. And another thing again, like when you want to talk about the Niger Delta itself, you know, Niger Delta is a let me call it the oil hub. You have a lot of activities going on. You have some area, you have industries, industrial activities going on. One thing that human body does is that there are ways we absorb chemical, you understand? Like the intake of chemical to human body comes in different way. Like I said, you can inhale it, like you breathe it in. There also, another one again can be injection, like when you inject it to your body. You understand? That one is injection. The other one is injection. Injection like digestion when you swallow. Then you also have absorption that comes through your skin. For example, you might be passing a dust area. You cover your nose rings, you cover your mouth, but they intend to stay close to your pores. They stay and they percolate, they enter through your pores. In fact, that is even worse because that finds its way to your bloodstream. Now, the one that is in your nose, you can easily have allergic, and then because like this hair we are seeing in our nose, their work is actually to filter some particles. That is what they do for us. So this nose, they can help in filtering the particles. But the skin, especially when it's very smooth and there are no hair, nothing to prevent some these things, you see that you absorb them into your skin. and it causes a lot of issues.
Now, if the skin is that so important in helping us, because you've now made mention that it can help also absorb into the skin.
Yes.
But many will say it can also best protect against.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about the issue of, we're talking about risk assessment and the issue of health. We know some persons, especially ladies, that use cream to either look good and look fine on account of this. Can that also impact negatively and also in every way make the skin not be that protective shield and easy assessment of all of these into the body?
In fact, what like this organic cream you see in the market, what it does is even making your skin lighter, because it tends to peel out the out layer, then bringing out the inner, which is very succulent, attractive, and very fine. It tends for ladies, it tends to do that. So this organic cream is even worse. It is even worse when it comes to ladies. And trust ladies, it's like they know, most of them, you don't like, unlike men that you can easily expose yourself to someone, they don't do that. They try to protect and prevent themselves from that, and which is very good, because they will become more vulnerable to those things than that is even not using cream or using the normal cream. You understand? So it's also a contributor. But the major factor is environment. It's environmental fact. Our attitude, like I said in my introduction, our attitude, our behaviors towards environment, that is what makes a difference.
I'm now being forced to ask you now, and my question is, what are some of the things you feel we do as a people that are greatly impacting negatively on the environment? Let's get to know.
Okay, so thank you for that question. The things we do that impact on environment, they are very numerous.
If you can just reel out some very important ones, and some that seem to be on the front stage.
Yes, so like when you look at our action, especially when it comes to, one, let me look at worry as a case study. I would take waste management. Improper waste management in worry is the damage we are doing to the environment on one side, and is also contributor to this flood. You just read out 150 people died. If we continue, like we ask, if it's going to triple if there is nothing, because if we continue this way, imagine we know that Warri is a water-prone area. Like you have some amount of dormant water when it rains. It is that time they will come to pour their waste and all that into the same water, and not forgetting that those water will dry off. You understand? And when you are even doing that, do you know how it causes flood? When you are doing that, it prevents percolation.
Percolation.
Yeah, to the soil. For example, if I throw my waste because I see there is a storm water there, I throw my waste there. For example, I will have plastic, like the ones we call cellophane. I will have other waste. I will even have clothing. Yeah. You understand? I will have clothing. Don't forget that they now form shade to the soil. Yeah. So percolation becomes hard. When the way the heavy water is dropping, it does not percolate, like the soil will not be able to absorb it. Because they are like a canopy, they're not acted as a shade. Before you know, you will see that the water is still there. Okay. You understand? Because what we refer to flood, for example, is when you have a huge amount of water. You understand? At a particular place, at a particular time, as a result of, let me call it unanticipated rainfall. So it remained there. And before you know, when it rained more, because it's not percolating, it's not going down, you will see that the water is building up. And once it builds up, it becomes flooded. Over time, it covers everywhere. And there is no escape, because there is no escaping route from to the soil. That's one. There are another effects again of this improper waste management is you block the water channels. When you throw those waste, they go as long going to the water channels, they block, they stay there. So those water that comes, they now have something like a shield or a preventive, like a barrier, let me call it barrier. They now act as barrier, preventing them to pass free the water channels and go to to those water banks where they're supposed to be. You understand? Once that is done also, you anticipate flood. You understand? Then when we want to talk about erosion itself, like we said, when you have overgrazed somewhere, like when you have cut down all the trees in that place, erosion is likely going to take place. You understand? So even mining itself, like when, especially when you go towards the north, like from Auchi, they do these quarry activities where they this limestone and even gravels for that we use. You understand? Those are the activities that actually impact the environment negatively. Then we want to look at our industries, for example. Like in Nigeria, you see that Nigeria is still doing gas flaring. In fact, those in the
21st century.
In 21st, and it's very, like for example, cooking gas is very expensive in Nigeria, but you are just wasting it. You understand? There are technologies in place that you can, like in some people they call it condensate. Those things they flare. So they call it condensate. It's like a mixture of a kind of vapor and small oil attached, small gases. You understand, attached to it. That's what they flare. So if they can bring this thing, they can turn them to cooking gas and other things. So gas flaring is also one of the major character that is contributing to negatively to environment. Then you also want to look at even farming, for example. You know, when I was growing up, my grandmother, they normally do this land rotation. Like they will farm here this year. They will leave that parcel of land. They will go there for about 3 years.
To make it regenerate.
Now what they are doing is to make it regenerate. But nowadays, you don't have that system. Maybe the person, they have one part of land, and because the communal system of ownership in Nigeria practice, most of the family, they've sold their land. So they don't even have that much land to do the land rotation. So what they do, only one parcel of land, you continue farming, they're adding fertilizer. You are killing the nutrients of the soil. And you are even calling for flood, and you are calling for erosion. Because over time, when you are overstretched that parcel of land, these are likely, apart from losing its nutrients, flood and erosion that place is prone to flood and erosion.
Now,
so there are so many. There are so many. Like I told you initially, I can also continue counting. Even when you look at our health sector, the management of those medical waste, they call them medical waste. The question you ask when you go to our health sector, how are they managing those medical waste? Is another question. One, when you don't manage your medical waste properly, is even not only environmental risk, just like other ones I've mentioned. They don't have only environmental risk, they have health risk, and they even have economic risk. And they have the socio-economic risk as well. All attached to it. Okay, so when you don't manage all this, your medical waste, this one, is still under the waste management. When you don't manage your medical waste properly, one, if you dispose it anyhow, because most of those wastes are infectious. Most of them, like the blood, they contain some diseases and infections. So you expose the soil to soil pollution, you expose water pollution as well. Because when you have soil pollution, you're also likely to have water pollution because the water flows through the soil. So it will wash it away and take it to the tributary and the streams. And don't forget that the villages, most of the streams, they go straight there, take the water without proper treatment, and they drink. So you are seeing, so it means now you are now treating some set of people and exposing other people to more. And don't forget that the secondary contaminant is more dangerous than the first contaminant. That's what people don't know. And let me tell you this today. If anybody is smoking cigarettes where you are, you have two options. Walk away from that vicinity or tell the person to off the cigarette. Because what the person is, they will call you are a secondary smoker in that area. But you are more prone than the first smoker. The first smoker, the cigarette have the filter. You understand? So there are some elements he can take, but his own that is releasing both what is in his system is all bacteria are there. Everything that is what is given to you.
Free of charge.
Free of charge. So you are more dangerous. You are more risky. You are in a risky position than the person that is smoking. So that is how these secondary infections operate. So when you contact those infections through these waters and this, so they are more dangerous. Like, for example, the E. coli.
Okay.
The E. coli you are seeing, E. coli is a part of bacteria that helps in breaking down substances in the soil.
Yeah.
Imagine that now enters human body. That means E. coli, it will not be breaking your system. You understand?
Because that's
what it's normally meant for. So it's not supposed to be in your system at all. It's not supposed to be in your system.
Now, I was wanting to ask now, which is more prevalent in the Niger Delta and Delta State as we are? Some of the things you feel we do that seems to be affecting the environment itself. What seems to be more prevalent around this side?
Okay,
negative.
Yes, like I said, I mentioned, I told you that if I want to do risk assessment in Warri, I will start with waste management.
Yeah.
Improper waste is one of the most prevalent because every household, they know that they need to dispose their waste, even if they don't know any other thing about the environment. But they know themselves that them keeping those waste around the environment will make it more dirty and dangerous to them. They know that. Yeah. You understand? So that practice of improper waste management is more prevalent in Delta State, especially in Warri, where you see that it is raining, like I told you, they turn in their waste into the stormy waters. They just felt that the water is going away with their waste. But they don't ask themselves, where is the end? Where is it taking them to? You understand? Those waters are not like human that they can walk and travel. Yes. You understand? They have a channel they pass. So they also forget that the impact they make in Warri can as well affect people in Asaba and people in US. Because the environmental impact is not like when you contaminate these places, remain there. It's like a transit, it's on transit, or it's spread, it moves. So, for example, when you can throw water here, and you'll be surprised that water will find itself waste will find itself in the sea. Because by the time you follow the water channels, the rivers and all that, and you find itself in the sea. You understand? So one of them is that improper waste management. Then the second again I've seen is these scavengers.
Okay. That we call them aboki.
They call them aboki, all these people. These scavengers, what I think government should have done is to properly arrange them, educate them, organize them. You understand? Because when you go to some parts, some area, you see that they will be digging the ground.
Yes.
Digging for maybe even a cover beer. That's what they're digging for. They dig for so long for a cover beer or something. After digging and they will leave that place, what do you think happens to that thing? You understand? Those are not questions they're asking themselves. And sometimes they themselves, like I said, I've said it in this program, that they expose themselves to health risk. I also mentioned that what they even get is not even enough to take care of their heads. They don't even know that.
When the time comes.
When the time comes. So they're supposed to, because when they expose themselves to this hazard, then they expose themselves to this hazard over time. You see that they are risk.
Yeah.
They are at risk. In fact, they become vulnerable.
Yeah.
And once they are vulnerable, you don't eliminate that they are likely to get attacked from those illnesses. So those scavengers should be well organized. And I also want to go back to the waste management, like I said. Apart from those, because I just mentioned those people pouring their waste. Then this, how do I call them? Should I also refer to them as scavengers? These people that push his wheelbarrow to collect waste, from one place to another. They do that.
Local waste.
Yes. They push wheelbarrow to your house. they pack your waste, you give them money. But the most time you'll be surprised that you find your waste on the middle of the road. Your waste is in the middle of the road. Because at the end of the day, they will not have where to take it to. It is it is not that structured and organized that once you carry your waste, this is the dump site for this. And like I told you, these people, they don't do waste classification and characterization and segregation. They don't do all those things.
They just keep all of them.
They just keep all of them in one place. Both even the biodegradables and non-biodegradables, they join all of them together and pack them to those places. You understand? So if we can organize our waste, they should not also forget that waste is wealth. And I defined waste that last time. I also said it that waste is also depends on the availability of technology, the time and where it is generated. You know, I also said that what you call waste now is a raw material to somebody very close to you might not even know that the person need it as a raw material. So if it is well organized, we can have access to people that will need this waste. They will make use of it. But because it's not well organized,
but don't you think that's why we're not having these scavengers, like we call them, going around the city? Because I could still remember some 2 decades ago, the issue of iron was a major concern in Nigeria. Anywhere you go, you see, and it does not decay on time.
It does not even decay at all.
It might
it does get rust,
but it takes a whole lot of time for it to degrade.
It does not degrade.
Okay.
Iron does not degrade.
Are we saying it's not a plus that we now have all these aboking scavengers coming to assist us with that? Second one now, the issue of rubber is also on the front burner. Nowadays, you hardly see containers for rubber. It is now also in high demand. And I've learned most recently, sachet water, what we call the cellophane or sachet water, is also being sought out for. So would you not call this as a blessing in disguise, having all of this being helped to remove them among or around where people normally stay?
Okay, like, most time I talk...
And I'm wondering why you're laughing.
No, I always refer you to that my theory of a cobra effect or the snake effect that happened in Dahili or some very long time ago. But it's a theory in economics. Now, what that theory is a developmental theory. That theory foreseeing a process or a situation where you intend to solve immediate problem, you now create a bigger one
in future.
Now, why did I laugh? If you allow these scavengers to handle it the way they're handling it now, in future you are going to have more environmental and health issues. You understand? Because there are going to be outbreak. At the long run, there will be outbreak. How are you going to? You will not have, let me say, you will not have a huge burden on the health facilities, which we even have minimum. You understand? So what I'm saying, in essence, the government should organize it properly. When it is well structured, make sure that these people, they are trained. You tell them where to pick, where to drop it. And they have a system of when they will collect what they have paid. Like when you go to, even in Lagos, I saw it somewhere in Lagos. I can't remember now. When I went to Lagos, there's not this machine like ATM machine. When you go there, you take your plastic to the place, and over time, yes, it gives you money. You understand? Like when you go to US or other developed countries, that's what you have. You don't have people pushing this up, and only you can pick just one you have, slot it there. It's mechanized, you understand? From there, you don't know how they take it from there, but it's a mechanized system. They're already disposing it in the best way without posing the health issue to anybody at all. You understand? And it's being recycling as well. So if we want to properly do it so that it will not have a negative impact on the environment and the health, that means we have to structure it. Since we are not that mechanized, we don't have that technology in place, you can organize them. You understand? Like I said, you can organize them. Okay. Give them.
We are talking about these scavengers.
These scavengers. Give them personal protective equipment.
Okay.
At least to protect themselves. Tell them the kind of places they are supposed to access. Then how they intend to take those this thing they are looking for there. Then where they will drop it, organize. You understand? Don't forget that most of them you see them, they pick these things around, and during the means of transportation, they littered it
the street.
On the road. During the means of transportation, what they have suffered this time today, they lose half of them. You now see other ones coming behind to start picking those as their own source. You understand? So it is not well
properly organized. So it's all about government's inadequate or inability of restructuring and putting these things in.
Yes, government should restructure and put in it should, like always use our word, system. It should be a system, not individual. Okay. Don't tell me to fix it today. Then when I leave the office, it go back to normal, even become worse.
Well, anyways, we've been talking for close to an hour now, and you agree that it's so interesting in our knowledge of what we need to do as a people to deal with the issue of getting the proper environmental study so we do not in every way impact the environment negatively. And we've still had no other person but a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Environment.
Member of Nigerian Environmental Society.
Okay, yes. He's just trying to be modest. Well, he's a member, but I know him as a fellow before. But anyway, if he says he's a member, he's a member. And I'm talking of no other person but Mr. Felix Unumadu. I will really need to thank you so much. We've been on this discussion for close to an hour now, if not up to an hour. And you just really highlighting some of the major fundamentals that we need to really know as a people. We truly appreciate you. And like we always say, we're Oliver Twist. We always come and ask for more, especially as it concerns having your insight into environmental issues. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. We really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Well, anyway, it's more like a wrap for me on the show today, but let the discussion still continue. You know, we always enjoy it continuing. Please, let's get your reaction as it concerns some of the actions that we as a people take or do that's impacting the environment negatively, and what the government needs to do to ensure that we do not run into a whole lot of difficulties in the nearest or foreseeable future as it concerns some environmental issue. Yes, we are neck deep into flooding as it concerns not just only erosion, but also landslide. It's also affecting us, like it's affecting some major countries in Asia. We also have the issue of scarce resources due to overgrazing that have impacted negatively in the northeast, north central. That is now having herders come all the way from there down here, and we're having constant conflict between farmers and herders. What should the government do? How proactive should they be? All of those comments should be on our different social media platforms. Let's have you comment, share, and like, and let's see how we can always enjoy to bring those lovely topics that you like always to your doorstep. But it's more like a wrap today on Dialogue, but don't go anywhere because the news will come around the hour, and most certainly you will love to trend along with us because I can tell you Messi is cooking up a very delicious one right here on Viewpoint.
When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited, your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
CME Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor AD.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife, and just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
The future of the worried child is bold, bright, and limitless. Gone are those days where being from worry means that you are underestimated or being put in a box. Today, the worried child is breaking boundaries in education, innovation, and all things that they set their minds to. We are gathered right here live at the Brown Hill Coliseum in Warri, Delta State for the future of the worried child, a one-day seminar put together for secondary school students in Warri, Delta State, and its aim is to reshape and of course to remind these children that their dreams are valid and they can be anything that they want to be. We will be reshaping destinies and of course putting in the minds of these children that yes, greatness lies within them. The theme for this year is a very powerful one, Beyond Limits, Unlocking the Potential of the Worried Child. Now, this is not just another seminar, this is a movement, one that brings to the knowledge that every child has greatness inside of them. My name is NK and I'll be holding it down right here on the red carpet for Atlantic Media and TV, where we'll be having our special guests and of course we'll be having conversations with our speakers, distinguished guests, and of course our students who are here and ready to learn, to get inspired, and of course to go home with so much enlightenment. Join me on the red carpet as I interview great men and women who will be coming here today to experience this great history in the making.
The future of the worried child is in your mouth. And as long as they can't steal your voice, they cannot steal your future. God bless you all. God bless Ogiame Atuashe III. God bless the children of this great land. God bless Nigeria.
Child can do anything possible because we believe first God made them, and if God made them, God actually made them without limit. So we are trying to sell that dream back to them, no matter what they've been taught, no matter what they've been told, that the worried child is going beyond limit.
To unlock children's potential, it starts with you as the parent.
What we are here to do is to also put them in the direction of, as you are working, also get yourself checked.
Going beyond the limits, beyond unlocking your potential, knowing your place, owning your story, finding the obstacles, identifying them, leaning into the lessons that life throws at you. So generally speaking, it's all about honing yourself and looking around you to solve problems. When you are a problem solver, you will always have value.
I'm a product of worry, so today I am that future standing here, and for that reason I have no doubt the people that will come after us will do greater things.
I feel so amazed by everything that has been going on today. I am truly touched and I'm truly enlightened today.
I feel very nervous coming here, but meeting new people and seeing that, oh, like there are lots of opportunities. Thank you most for the opportunity that have given to us, the future of the worried child.
Future of the worried child is me, thanks to the Corona Care Foundation.
Behind closed doors, too many suffer in silence. Too many lives are scarred by violence in the very place that should bring peace, the home. Domestic violence is not love. It is pain. It breaks trust, destroys lives and families, and steals futures. Domestic violence is not a private matter. It's a violation of dignity, and it must end. Because hitting a woman does not make you a man, but correcting her in love and staying in peace with her is God's plan. Together, we can raise our voices, protect the vulnerable, and rebuild lives. Say no to silence. Say no to fear. Say no to domestic violence. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Every year, millions of lives are stolen, dreams cut short, futures traded in silence. Human trafficking is a modern-day slavery. It hides in plain sight, tearing families apart and trapping the vulnerable in fear. But together, we can end it. Together, we can protect, we can rescue, and we can give hope. Say no to exploitation. Say no to slavery. Say no to human trafficking. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV. I'm Michael Gobadia. Here are our top stories. Federal government begins National Health Insurance Scheme deductions from workers' salaries. Senators clash over INEC Warri delineation. Senate orders probe at mid-tension. And Nigeria reaffirms commitment to regional blue economy fisheries cooperation. And on the foreign scene, 18 injured as people carrier crashes into terminal at Washington Dulles Airport. And talking sport, Boniface targets injury-free season at Women Bremen. Now to the news in full. The federal government has begun implementing statutory deductions from the National Health Insurance Scheme from October 2025 salaries of civil servants. The NHIS, established to provide financial protection and quality healthcare for Nigerians, now covers over 99% of federal employees. Officials said the move aligns with Nigerians' goal of achieving universal health coverage by 2030. A circular from the Office of the Head of Service confirmed that the deductions ranging from 1,000 naira to 2,000 naira are part of the government's effort to expand health insurance coverage and ensure access to affordable health care for workers across ministries, departments, and agencies. Still, the federal government has announced the cancellation of Nigerians' national language policy, opting instead for English as the sole medium of instruction from early childhood to tertiary education across the country. Nigerian national language policy, first introduced in 1977 and revised in several times since, aimed to encourage the use of mother tongue or local languages in early education. However, Aloasam said decades of inconsistency, lack of teaching materials, and training challenges had made the initiative unworkable. He maintained that English would remain the official language of instruction nationwide, citing the need for uniformity and improved cooperation among students. Education experts, meanwhile, are divided, with some calling for a balanced approach that preserves local languages without compromising academic standard. The decision marks a major policy reversal and reignites debate over the role of indigenous language in Nigeria Education Center. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Aloasa, made the announcement in Abuja, explaining that despite the policy's intention to promote indigenous languages, its implementation has continued to be poor academic performance, especially in English language examination. There was drama on the floor of the Senate on Tuesday as two lawmakers clashed during debate over the Independent National Electoral Commission ongoing delineation exercise in Warri Federal Constituency, Delta State. The heated section followed a motion by Senator Simon Lalong of Plateau State, who called for urgent Senate intervention to prevent what he described as imminent political crisis in the oil-rich region. The Deputy President of the Senate, Jibrin Barawa, who presided over the section, waded in to restore order and ruled out that the matter be referred to the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, Legal Matters, and Electoral Affairs for investigation. The committees are expected to report back to the chambers within 4 weeks. Meanwhile, the Shekiri, Ijo, and Urobo Group had all raised objection to the INEC delineation, alleging error, ethnic bias, and boundary distortion extending into neighboring Edo and Ondo State. INEC has yet to respond to the Senate resolution, even as tension continues to simmer across Warri 3 local government areas, with the investigation underway. All eyes are now on the Senate committee to determine whether INEC's Warri delineation exercise was an administrative error or an act of ethnic imbalance that could threaten peace in Delta's political landscape.
No, I'm saying that. Look, don't get me wrong. Oh, okay, so. Oh, there's a letter. If there is a document, so it's not a hidden document, it's to the Senate. Apart from that, let me clear, as Ningi said, that was why we said the boundary commission
is somebody that is guiding this motion from what he has said.
No, he's an interested party.
No, don't talk. You don't have.
He's an interested party.
Protected.
In that case, an interested party should also not be part of it.
Order. Senator Joel. Senator Joel.
Allow the Senate to discuss
Senator Joel.
This is Nigeria. We are not talking about
Senator Joel.
Then why are you saying that INEC committee is interested? Okay, Mr.
Senator
President.
Lalong explained that a petition from the Shekiri ethnic nationality accused INEC of marginalization in the creation of a new ward. According to the petition, while the Baramatu and Oporuza communities saw their ward increase from 1 each to 8, the Shekiri were allegedly reduced from 6 to 5, a move they described as unjust. The motion, however, sparked a clash between Lalong and Senator Joel Onaropa Thomas of Delta South, who objected to the discussion, arguing the matter was sub judice and pending before a court. The National Assembly says it is set to double the basic health care provision fund to boost Nigerians' primary health care system. Senate Committee on Health Chair, Senator Ipalubo Banigo, says the proposals seek to increase funding from 1 to 2% of the consolidated revenue fund to improve service delivery nationwide. The announcement came at the second joint annual review of the health sector in Abuja, themed All Hands, One Mission, bringing the Nigerian health system to light. Senator Bamnigo said the legislative amendment will revitalize primary healthcare centers, improve workforce capacity, and sustain immunization and maternity health programs across Nigeria. Representatives from local government also pledged to strengthen collaboration under the primary healthcare under one roof policy to ensure equitable access to care in rural areas. Minister Bagudu highlighted the new international partnership, including the European Union Health Investment for Nigeria initiative, reflect growing global confidence in Nigerian fiscal and health reforms. With a renewed push from lawmakers, the Budget Ministry and the local government, Nigerian health sector appears poised for a new phase of expansion, one that could bring quality healthcare closer to every community. Meanwhile, the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Senator Bakar Bagudu, says monthly revenues from surge from under 580 billion naira between 2019 and 2023 to over 2 trillion in 2025, giving the federal government more fiscal space to expand investment in the health sector. The federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to regional collaboration and sustainable fisheries management as part of its effort to drive the blue economic growth and diversify the nation's economy. Represented by the Permanent Secretary Olufemi Oyetola, said the country is determined to strengthen regional coordination, share best practices, and build technical capacity to address climate challenges affecting the maritime sector. He highlighted that the national policy on marine and blue economy is a key step towards enhancing fisheries and aquaculture for economic diversification. The minister stressed that while improving value chains and biodiversity, the welfare of local communities must remain central. Meanwhile, representatives from ECOWAS, the European Fisheries Control Agency, and the Food and Agriculture Organization renewed their commitment to combating illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing across West Africa. Delegates also called for increased member state funding and sustained donor support to advance the region's ocean governance programs. The conference continues in Lagos with sections on climate adaptation, sustainable aquaculture, and regional enforcement strategies under the West African Sustainable Ocean Program. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Oyetola, stated these on Tuesday in Lagos at the 16th Conference of Ministers of Fisheries Committee for the West Central Gulf of Guinea. He emphasized that Nigeria remains fully aligned with the FCWC's objective of fostering effective governance, sustainable practice, and economic empowerment for coastal communities. We need to go on a break now, but when we come back, more news across Nigeria, as well as business, sport, and foreign news.
When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited, your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace.
Welcome back now to the rest of the news. At least 18 people have been hospitalized after a mobile passenger lodge, commonly known as People Mover, crashed into a Concourse D at the Washington Dulles International Airport on Monday afternoon. Emergency response team rushed into the scene, treating passengers before transporting them to nearby hospitals. Authorities say all injured victims are in stable condition, while the cause of the crash remains under investigation. Flight at Dulles continued with minimal delays as maintenance crew worked late into the evening to clear the damaged vehicle from the terminal area. Officials have accused travelers that airport, or rather has assured travelers that airport operations remain normal and safety checks are on the way to prevent further incidents. Airport officials said the shuttle was transporting passengers to the concourse while it struck the dock at an angle while pulling up to the building. The impact left several passengers with minor injuries and forced an emergency evacuation using onboard stairs. Still on the foreign scene, the United Nations has listed Nigeria and Mali among 16 hungry crisis hotspots where millions face the risks of starvation if urgent action is not taken. According to the report, Haiti, Mali, Palestine, South Sudan, Sudan, and Yemen top the list of countries at the imminent risk of catastrophe, hunger, while Afghanistan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Nigeria, Somalia, and Syria fall under the very high concern category. Executive Director Cindy McCain said the world is in brink of complete preventable hunger catastrophe, stressing that failure to act now will fuel more unsustainable instability and displacement. The agency say humanitarian aid is critically underfunded, with just over $10 billion received out of the $29 billion needed to respond to global hunger emergencies. As a result, food assistance from refugees and school feeding program has already been caught in several countries. The UN is using swift international intervention to avert famine and restore food access for millions trapped in conflict and poverty zones across Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. In a joint report released Wednesday, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization and the World Food Programme warned that conflict, violence, and funding shortages are driving food insecurity to alarming levels worldwide. Now to the sporting scene. Victor Boniface, Bayern Leverkusen forward on loan at Werder Bremen, says his main priority for the 2025-2026 campaign is staying fit. Now, the 24-year-old wants to rediscover his form after struggling with injuries since moving to Weser Stadium on transfer deadline day. Now, in 8 games this season, Boniface has registered only 2 assists, but he insists his focus is on the same sources. Sometimes you have good moments, sometimes bad. The most important thing is to find the right way. It's not just about me scoring, it's about winning games, he added. Boniface's debut season for Leverkusen in 2023-24 was a standout with 14 goals and 8 assists in 24 Bundesliga matches, helping his team to an unbeaten title run, but injuries has hampered his subsequent season. Still on the sporting scene, former Manchester United defender Alex, now with Berlin, has launched a $1 million lawsuit against the Red Devils, alleging clinical negligence during his time at Old Trafford. The 25-year-old, an academy graduate who spent 17 years at Manchester United before leaving in 2023, argued that alleged negligence has affected his career and earnings despite continuing to play at an elite level with Barnsley. Manchester United has declined to comment, or rather Manchester United has declined to comment on the claim. The case is expected to move through the courts in the coming months, with the player seeking damages in excess of £1 million. Court documents revealed that he claims injuries sustained at United, most notable a left side pars fracture in 2020 and a right side fracture in 2022, have left him unable to play without restriction or impediments. His legal team says the club failed to provide proper rest or refer him to a specialist spinal surgeon, resulting in chronic condition that could have been prevented. Now with that sad news, so we'll come to the end of the news right here on Atlantic TV. We'll always tell you if you have any newsworthy reports, do well to send it to our different social media platforms. I'll be more than happy to have them. I still remain Michael Gobadia. Bye for now.
Let's see how you're gonna rap now. His name is Jay. Everybody say Jay. In 10, and 9, and 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yo, let's go. Let's move it on. Say, let's go. Oh, let's move it on. Can I say, oh, we wanna party. Move it on. Oh, we wanna party. Come on, stand up. Oh, we wanna party. Oh yeah. Oh, we wanna party. We are here at the show. Chilling really nice. Oh, you all looking good. Thank you for the compliment, bro. You are looking very nice. Oh, look at her now. She's looking good. She's looking fresh. Look at her swag. He's looking kind of nice. Oh, give it up for her. Give it up for her.
In 5, and 4, and 3, 2, 1, go.
My God, he did for me. It's too short for me. Oh, as to be my loving daddy, he run out for me. Way out for day if you not be saying, now because of you I the shine today. Your love will bust my brain. I go follow you every night today. Your love will cover me. Say blessing they follow me. Now you will hold my destiny. No they fear anything. No, say, put your couple. Find Jesus, join your papa. Find Jesus, join your papa. Find Jesus, join your papa. Say, according to your knowledge and your will for me, what you say is you. I don't need to because you are not a man that those that knows you will trust in you. Not the nonsense, no chariots. By the power of flesh, no man can prevail.
DJ Emmy.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. And 3, 2, 1, come on, Brian.
I was in a plane going to Spain. It's the plantain when the policeman came. He searched my pocket and he saw cocaine. He took me to the station and I can't explain. He gave me 12 knock on my head maintained. The liar, go to a fire, he will flog you with a wire. As Jeremiah in the book of Zechariah. Today Allah say, don't eat gala. Tomorrow na salad. Pray to God, make your soup not sour.
Pray to God in 5, and 4, and 3, 2, 1. Come on the line.
Face me your location, this your body. If you put me for attention, as it got pleasure, then I feel get some motivating your body, not temptation. Cause it's time I feel giving you my gesture. Mondo to be most da gboru o she mi we be were o ya ga o she you know the see say ajojo gbedu e then talk say na be me be e sha am okay na you go come tell me now oh now make humility no go turn me malu because if I talk one they go like swallow me eh she one good she one bad she one real she one fake me I don't do again. See wins that they want shallow.
All right, T for Treasure, let's go.
Hey, my name is Treasure. I go put you on pressure. They drive cyber truck, can be anything on pressure. Ground full force full ground. When they see how they go, any year you go better. All of una fine, see us all of una fresh. I they blush all of una nothing contest. You see us are fine, I be fine, but like this. They call me Blacky Poppy, I they rush off una beats. 12 midnight, we know they drive alone. Any year it's on the phone, with them jet and they go. With them mash and they go, they mash and they go. Rev and they mash and they go.
They go.
You all know me very well. I'm not here to tell you about myself. I'm here to sing about it to the world. You all know me very well. I'm not gonna tell you about myself. I'm trying to sing about the world. Yeah. Once upon a time, yeah, me I was broke. No money, everywhere they shook. Can't entertain my visitors with coke. People come to my house, I can't give them any coke. Yo, and then they tell me and I'm
nice one.
Can I hear your voice? Another yauna. Say. DJ on the beat. Yo, baby Georgia is my name. Rock out my only game. My body's when I get it, then I spit it in your face. I'm never not make music cause the business in my vein. I'm an outgoing poppy, all the actions on the trust. Say,
yeah. Vanna where the paradox come. Vanna where the paradox come. Vanna where the paradox come. Nana where the paradox come. Nana where the paradox show. Aya talk to me. Bust my head. He dey enter.
The future of the worried child is bold, bright, and limitless. Gone are those days where being from worry means that you are underestimated or being put in a box. Today, the worried child is breaking boundaries in education, innovation, and all things that they set their minds to. We are gathered right here live at the Brown Hill Coliseum in Warri, Delta State for the future of the worried child, a one-day seminar put together for secondary school students in Warri, Delta State, and its aim is to reshape and of course to remind these children that their dreams are valid and they can be anything that they want to be. We will be reshaping destinies and of course putting in the minds of these children that yes, greatness lies within them. The theme for this year is a very powerful one: beyond limits, unlocking the potential of the worried child. Now, this is not just another seminar. This is a movement, one that brings to the knowledge that every child has greatness inside of them. My name is NK, and I'll be holding it down right here on the red carpet for Atlantic Media and TV, where we'll be having our special guests, and of course we'll be having conversations with our speakers, distinguished guests, and of course our students who are here and ready to learn, to get inspired, and of course to go home with so much enlightenment. Join me on the red carpet as I interview great men and women who will be coming here today to experience this great history in the making.
The future of the worry child is in your mouth. And as long as they can't steal your voice, they cannot steal your future. God bless you all. God bless Ogiame Atuashe III. God bless the children of this great land. God bless Nigeria.
Child can do anything possible because we believe first God made them, and if God made them, God actually made them without limit. So we are trying to sell that dream back to them, no matter what they've been taught, no matter what they've been told, that the worried child is going beyond limit.
To unlock children's potential, it starts with you as the parent.
What we are here to do is to also put them in the direction of, as you are working, also get yourself checked.
Going beyond the limits, beyond unlocking your potential, knowing your place, owning your story, finding the obstacles, identifying them, leaning into the lessons that life throws at you. So generally speaking, it's all about honing yourself and looking around you to solve problems. When you are a problem solver, you will always have value.
I'm a product of worry, so today I am that future standing here, and for that reason I have no doubt the people that will come after us will do greater things.
I feel so amazed by everything that has been going on today. I am truly touched and I'm truly enlightened today.
I feel very nervous coming here, but meeting new people and seeing that, oh, like there are lots of opportunities. Thank you most for the opportunity that have given to us, the future of the worried child.
Future of the worried child is me, thanks to the Corona Care Foundation.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, it's Trending O'Clock. This is where we'll talk about all the trending and juices making waves on the internet. And you know, I am Mercy Irabo, and I can never be alone in the studio once it's Trending O'Clock. Who is joining us today? Mr. Michael Gobadia. Mr. Michael.
Anyway, I didn't say it's the E to the N to the K to the... It's Michael.
Okay, maybe I should say M to the I to the C. Okay, I think he's jealous. He is jealous, guys. Anyways, without wasting much time, let's just dive into our top stories on Trending today. We're talking about a road in Delta State that has been a nightmare for many commuters, and this is the Efurun-Saple Road. For months now, road users have faced serious traffic congestion there, all thanks to the poor state of Efurun-Saple Road. And while it's technically a federal road, the Delta State government, under the leadership of Right Honorable Sheriff Oboriwori,
has decided to take matters into their own hands. The government has mobilized the CCEC to begin what we call a remedial work, essentially fixing the damaged portion of the roads to ease traffic while bigger plans are on the way. And the bigger plan, a brand new dual carriageway stretching from the roundabout all the way past the Aziza junction. This initiative isn't just about repairing potholes, it's about transforming the roads, making your daily commute smoother, faster and safer. Well, while the road may still have some bumps and it's for the short term, the long-term plan promises a major upgrade for commuters. And this is saying, hats off to Delta State government for taking this initiative. Yes, so this is Delta State Governor, Governor Sheriff Oboriwori, making plans on doing all of these things, because this has been a major nightmare. This morning I told Mr. Michael that I really do not want to travel to Edo State because you have to take this route when you're going to Edo State. But now look at this thing. It is getting fixed, yeah. So while some other governors that I won't mention their names are busy saying this is a federal road, please bear with bear with the state government. I didn't mention name. Yeah, and some persons are busy using their own money and revenue to create, to work on the federal road. This is a good one from the Delta State Governor. This is kudos to the Delta State Governor.
Well, anyway, he has always talked about the more agenda. So
yeah,
it's like he's giving more to Deltans. And honestly, it's something we all need to applaud, especially to appreciate him, knowing I've passed through that road twice in recent time, and honestly, it was indeed a nightmare. Honestly, it was indeed a nightmare. But we'll just say kudos to the Delta State Governor and the government of Delta State for doing that. Yeah, I understand what you said, that some governors will always come out and say, well, come on, it's a federal road, so how does that concern me? But the honest truth is your citizens, your state citizens that are going through the nightmare. Why not save them and later look for a refund from the federal government? Because I do know there are channels of refund that after doing a federal road, you can also put on your acquisition for a refund, and that can be brought to you. But you know, if other major governors, like the name she mistakenly mentioned, would do same, it would be better to have that done. That will truly appreciate.
Yes, I give kudos to the Delta State Governor. This is part of the more agenda, and it's one thing that the Deltans will be proud of him for. And I am so proud of him. At least now I can easily say I want to travel to Edo State, knowing that it will be a smooth ride. Yes, all thanks to the state, to Delta State Governor. Yeah, away from that, we have the story that's got everyone talking on social media, and it involves none other but the Minister of Federal Capital Territory. And who is this? Onyesom Wike. The controversy erupted after a video went viral showing Wike in a heated clash with a naval officer. The exchange quickly caught the attention of Nigerians online, sparking a storm of reactions and debate. In response to the incident, Minister Wike has issued a strict directive. Employees of the Abuja Geographic Information Systems, known as the AGIS, as well as the Department of Land Administration, are now banned from using mobile phones while on duty. This move is intended to curb distractions and prevent incidents like the viral clash from happening again. But of course, the decision has sparked mixed reactions from netizens, and so many people are asking, is this the best approach to all of these viral videos we saw? Because we are expecting something else, but now we are seeing that the next move is to ban the use of mobile phones. Well, netizens are not finding it funny at all, and we're able to gather some of the reactions, and let's see some of the reactions we got on net. The Honorable Minister realized his position is only temporary. Ban this, revoke that, cancel this, fight that. Distract this does not create antecedent of a hit legacy, even when you do well as a leader. He was fighting impunity yesterday. What happened? Okay, interesting comments from the social media. You see this man now, wow, okay, I am not the one saying it. He is not a man of integrity, so I am not surprised. Well, you can see I am also not the one saying this. Let's see if we get some more reactions online. So the lawyers in the house, is this directive legal? Okay, so the lawyers in the house. I think Mr. Michael.
Well,
Mr.
anyway,
Michael,
don't
you're a
cut
lawyer.
me.
It's very, very important to put a ban on using phone cameras during whatever government engagement until there's a need to do so, as issues like this are not meant for public engagement, rather legal engagement to ensure justice and respect for constitutional rights and rule of law. We shouldn't be taking everything for trends here in this country, tarnishing our national reputation, all in the name of sharing opinions and expressing hate for our leaders. But once I see it on the internet, I'll definitely bring them here on Trending. The proverbial use of a sledgehammer to kill an ant. How is this the problem? Behave better, create better systems, resolve issues through the proper channels, and you won't be afraid of being recorded. I think I said this thing today concerning the editors conference. Yeah, that's a swift and perhaps extreme reaction, banning phones for an entire department after a personal viral incident seems like a major overreach, impacting the communication and efficiency just to control public perception. That's not a solution. He should learn to behave well, organized, and more professional. That's all. Okay, now we've got some more questions of, is this the right move? Mr. Michael, is this the right move?
It's a funny one. And, okay, let's just do it this way. The reason he's putting a ban on this is they finally investigated and found out it was somebody from the ministry that made go of that leaked viral video that have continued to spark reactions. Now, the funny side of it is, I wonder why he's taking it a bit too personal, because a lot of persons were also in support of his actions and were criticizing the naval young officer for his rude response to a minister. So he should not take it one-sided and feel, well, it's more like a bash to my ego and my side. You should rather let it be. Let whoever, you do not have control over their phones and what they watch or calls they receive. I'll plead with the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory to have a rethink as it concerns that. That will not stop the heated argument. That will not stop the verbal argument. That will not stop the land grabbing. All of that will still take place. But how well you address these issues will either make us have more interesting viral video to talk about throughout the week.
On Trending.
On Trending, most especially. You know, Messi will want to trend on that. Or will have less of such impact and more civil way of addressing issues.
Yeah, so like I said this morning, behave better. Imagine we saw a viral video of him maybe doing something really nice. I'm not sure he would go about banning phones. And that's because he gave us this other side, and then we saw it went viral, and now you want to ban phones. But this is not right. I see it as a misuse of power. That's what I am seeing this as a misuse of power. And talking about the naval officer, for me, the guy was not rude at all. He was being very professional, because if it were some persons, maybe they would just lose it. But for him, he acted very professional, in as much as the FCT minister was very, very rude. For me, he was rude. Talking to a uniform personnel in that manner was very rude.
With the way you are talking now, I understand why he wants to ban the phone.
Please don't ban it, because I want to have more things to trend here on Trending.
If he listens to you, ban
yes, we need more things to trend. So if we don't have all of those videos, what are we going to be talking about on Trending? Well, so please consider not banning the phones. We want you to have a rethink of all of this. Well, away from that, we saw, yes, another viral video circulating that captured 2 Nigerian army personnel allegedly assaulting a civilian during a private mediation. The footage has since gone viral, igniting widespread condemnation from Nigerians across social media. Many viewers are asking questions about accountability and the conduct of our security personnel. Incidents like this raise serious concerns about professionalism and the treatment of civilians in sensitive situations. And then I get to ask, when I see army officers treating civilians bad, I just try to ask myself, is this what you are meant to do? You were supposed to go there, maybe have a discussion, like we saw. It was supposed to be a private mediation. Talk to him, and next thing we saw all of the brutality and everything going on. It's not really nice. It's not professional. Like I said before, once you do your duty right, I come here and give you a thumbs up. But once you don't do your duty, I will come here and drag you like a generator. So this is a very bad one coming from the military officers, and I feel investigations, thorough investigations to go on, and then whoever is found guilty should face the consequences of their action, Mr. Michael.
Well, yes, you're very right. You know, this still brings us to the discussion of a military-civil relationship, and especially how they really need to coexist as one entity in this very great nation called Nigeria. You know, one of the reasons we keep seeing such videos and such brutality coming from our military and paramilitary forces is many will attribute it to the many long years of military rule and that mentality that civilians are bloody, so you need to give them a bloody eye.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So, you know, long military rule has really damaged the psychic of many military officers and those in the uniform. So it's all about training and retraining and letting them understand that they are working for us and not against us. That they should understand.
Yes, they should understand that they're working for us and not against us. So I feel investigations are ongoing, and this is a developing story. So once we get more updates, we'll definitely bring them to you as soon as they unfold. Yeah, away from that, we have a story from United Kingdom that has captured international attention. A Keystone Crown Court has sentenced 4 Nigerians and 6 other individuals to a combined 55 years in prison. They were found guilty of being a part of a violent syndicate responsible for a series of coordinated mobile phone store robberies across London. According to the UK Metropolitan Police, the group, including David Akintola, Ayomide Olaribiro, Olabi Obasa, David Okewole, James Adodo, Robert Hills, Nelson Joel, Michael Vabo, Mustakim Maya, and Lavin Blois, carried out 13 robberies between September and November 2024, amassing losses totaling £240,000. The syndicate operations involved violent attacks on mobile phone stores, and the court sentence reflects the seriousness of their crimes. And now I am saying, imagine leaving this country. Everybody wants to leave. The usual word, jackpa, they want to jackpa. And then some persons are opportune to leave, and then they go there to paint the image of the country in that way. And you know what, we're already fighting with the image of the country, and then they're going there to fight the image of the country. Well, netizens had lots of reactions to that, and trust me to always bring some of these reactions to you. Now let's see some of the reactions we got on the net. This is truly shameful and deeply disappointing. As Nigerians, we must unequivocally condemn such criminal behavior that tarnishes our nation's image abroad. No matter the challenges anyone faces, there's no justification for violence, theft, or criminal enterprise. These individuals not only broke the law of another country, but also betrayed the trust of the millions of hardworking, honest Nigerians who are striving daily to make a positive impact and uphold our country's reputation. And this one is saying, Yahoo no pay again, them don't enter robbery. Well, this is coming from somebody. This is sad. Yes, it's very sad. Well deserved, the opportunity that many people are looking for. You are lucky to have, and you think the best thing to use it for is theft and robbery. Even the village people are disappointed in them. Yes, so you don't blame it on village people. The village people are in shock. This is exactly the kind of news that damages Nigeria global images and overshadow the efforts of millions of hardworking, law-abiding Nigerians making a positive impact abroad. Every time such incidents happen, it reinforces the negative stereotypes that take years to correct. It's sad that the actions of a few continue to stain the reputation of an entire nation striving for respect and recognition on the world stage. Yeah, this is very shameful coming from Dre. This is very shameful. To me, it is very shameful. Imagine 4 Nigerians. This is saddening. I don't know. So many people need this opportunity, and then you happen to get this opportunity to make your life maybe better or whatever, and then you decide to still go there and make fast money. So when I say most times that it's not really about the poverty, when we talk about cyber fraud and all of that, and I said it's not really about poverty, because some persons are just greedy. They just want to make this money. They don't care how it is. They just want to make this money very fast. Now you're outside the country that you're supposed to maybe work out and make money, knowing the fact that the economy of your nation is, I don't want to mention the word, but you went there and then you're now behind bars. This is sad. I really wish I can put myself in the position of the family members right now, looking up to them that, oh, we actually sent some of our children, our sons, outside the country to make themselves better, and now they are behind bars, Mr. Michael.
Well, anyway, looking at their picture, you know that they are all guilty. Their faces are too strong. Now, let's look at it. If it was in the Nigerian context, Nigerian policemen would just see 4 of their faces and put them guilty already.
Yeah,
and they will not even have the chance of going to steal what they went to steal. But the truth is, it's shameful, it's quite disappointing.
Yeah, it
and
is.
It's really giving us that very bad look image overseas, especially coming from a host nation. And we know England or Britain at itself, we have a whole lot of Nigerians there. So this should not paint us in a bad light. We see how Nigerians are doing excellently well in Britain. Like we do know the main opposition party, the Labour Party, is being headed by a Nigerian by birth, Kemi. She's the one heading there. So it's not just going to sound as if all Nigerians are criminals, but we have credible, intelligent, hard-working Nigerians still living in Great Britain and are doing very well.
Well, like we know, justice has been served, and these individuals will now serve years behind bars. Away from that, it's been all of serious discussions today, and then I'm thinking, what should we bring next? Let's see this next story. A man recently shared a video of his experience online, showing shock after being charged a whooping 16,000 naira for plain white rice. Yes, you heard that right. Just plain white rice. In the video, the man is seen in the hotel room questioning the attendants about the outrageous price. He even opened the food pack to show the serving. No garnish, no sauce, nothing extra. The video has sparked laughter, disbelief. Here, when I saw it, I was laughing. Well, let's see the footage.
This thing now, where they like this now. How much you thought it be? 16,000 white rice. Right, calm down. This one now, where fish come dey inside, the soup can be how much? 7,000. White rice 16,000. Now chief na the chief for this hotel. White rice 16,000. When nothing there, no protein, nothing there. White rice 16,000. Then fish, pepper soup. Now we can't collect the 16,000 now. Only the Abia will need the 16,000. Now we can't collect 16,000 for white rice.
Okay, this video is very funny. Imagine 16,000, a whooping 16,000 naira for plain white rice. I can see Mr. Michael trying to okay, let's ask him, Mr. Michael, would you buy that plain white rice maybe in a luxury hotel for 16,000 naira?
Well, anyways, I will not, but I know a friend that bought for close to 20,000 naira.
Okay, so why would you not buy plain white rice for 16,000 naira?
I don't have that money. I know where I work. But that's not what I'm saying. What I am directly saying is 20,000 naira. I had a friend that bought a rice for 20,000 naira.
Okay. Okay, and you can't do that.
No,
and
because why he did so when we asked him,
your friend.
He paid for it first before complaining. That's what I felt this man.
But there's a saying
and
that
the reason he paid for it first before complaining is he did not tell us why he bought it. It was after he paid. Because the lady that brought it, he was busy looking at her.
Okay, so
he didn't look at the price list.
Oh,
and she was looking very figure eight.
Okay.
So at the end, when he paid and she has gone, that's when he started complaining. So sometimes you can pay for things you see and those you do not see. He did not tell us who served it to him. He only showed us her feet. Okay. You understand? So only God knows how the face was and the body. So let him stop complaining. Okay, what was he doing in the hotel? Is he not a man that would have eaten at home?
You don't know. Maybe he's on vacation.
Yes,
maybe
yes, with the side chick. But all I'm saying is maybe they saw who he came with.
Okay.
And they felt that, women do that a lot. And sometimes if you go to some boutique, it depends on who you carry them.
Yeah.
Once I carried me and my sister, I followed her. Oh, it's my sister, I said. Oh. I followed her there. Normally, something that would have been sold for 5,000. They told her 10, and she was, no, I bought this last, and the girl was giving her eye that, and are you the pay, are you the pay? He said, no, it's my younger brother.
Okay.
And I told her, look at the nose. Are they not looking at her like? So now
so
you
that's what most people do. So let's leave your sister away from this, in as much as I know it might not be a sister. But let's leave that aside. Then talking about your friend that paid 20,000 naira, a whooping 20,000 naira.
Yeah.
So I think this man, when he sees this video, he would be like, oh, so people pay 20,000 naira.
Yeah.
So then I feel again, they said, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. So if your friend is paying 20,000 naira for a plate of rice, then you can do more, Mr. Michael.
Yeah, I could have, but the boy was coming from Europe. He came from France a day before, and he wanted to prove to us he had money.
Okay.
And we took him where he would spend the money. But he was foolish enough to look at the waiter rather than the money that was for the rice. So, but at the end, we ate.
Yeah, well, we the rich people can actually pay more than that for a plate of rice. Yeah,
I'll
we
show you
can
somewhere.
pay. We can. Yeah, you can take me. I don't mind. I would even pay for you too. We can actually pay for that. That's not a big problem. Just ensure you go through the menu. Yes, most times I know most of these hotels bring menu and then price list are not there, and then I ask, please, how much is this? That is where you should ask questions. If you know how much, so you don't end up washing plates. You don't end up helping them sweep. You just become a cleaner all of a sudden because you don't have money to pay.
But
so
honestly,
do well to
that
ask
fish,
questions.
when I saw that video, that's just bono, no fish. It's the
To
head
be able
of.
to see
I
it.
used to, Mama of Fure close to that sells bolian. Okay, let's leave that one.
Okay, okay. Mr. Michael is saying he would never pay such. So like I said, ensure you go through the menu properly. And for those, I feel hotels, maybe this time around, we need to start dragging most of these hotels and restaurants and all of that. Why would you have a menu without price list? Do you know how much I came with? Do you know how much is in my account? I want to see the price list. And then if you know you do not have enough, if you have enough like me and you don't mind, yes, you can decide not to ask questions. But if you know you're like Mr. Michael, do well to ask questions. How much is this? How much is that? Don't just jump into it. Don't just say, okay, let me have it. Let me have it. Ask questions. Don't be shy. Even if the girl bringing it is figure 8 said, like Mr. Michael said, ensure to ask questions.
Don't pay for your eyes and the food.
Exactly.
Pay for just your food.
Exactly. So now you get the point. Well, I think our time is not really on our side. Yes, time is not really on our side. We have to go. But it's been such an amazing time with interesting stories today on Trending. I had fun. I know you had fun too. And of course, you know, you can drop your comments, drop your thoughts on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Well, this is where I have to say, I will see you for another great and exciting edition tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is Friday's edition, and Friday's edition is always superb. You do not want to miss that. Once again, I remain Mercy Irabo. See you same time tomorrow.
And I'm Michael Gobadia. Let's see how we'll do this same time come a weekend edition of Viewpoint. That is definitely tomorrow. Bye for now.